Hi guys, this is Hero, and in today's video, I'm going to be discussing monitoring your identifications. Now, before I get into the video, so you might notice here, I just kind of have a list in 3 sections. Instead of the usual bullet points that I usually have for most of my videos on the whiteboard. The bullet points, I kind of just go freestyle all my videos anyways. They're all kind of up here, but instead of having the bullet points written out, I thought it'd be better to just kind of visualize it for you guys like this. So basically, identifications, in my opinion, can be separated into 3 parts. So there's obvious ones, there's identifications that we kind of notice, and there's ones that we're possibly not aware of. So the more obvious they are, the more conscious we are of them. Okay? The more unaware we are, the more these identifications are in our subconscious. Our subconscious has millions of identifications. And even, or like infinite, a lot. There's a lot. And like on the surface, we also have a bunch too. Now, so what happens is every single identification in our mind, subconsciously or consciously, like they affect our actions. Okay. So what I want you to guys to do is basically try as best as you can to become aware of those identifications and be aware of how they are affecting your actions. Okay. So there's some obvious ones that we know that they are affecting how we act. Okay. So for example, like a lot of physical traits, like your height, weight, your skin color, where you're from, stuff like that, that we're usually a little more aware than some of the rest of these traits on how they affect our behavior, right? Like for example, whether we want to admit it or not, like if we're from a certain place, we tend to feel the need to act a certain way. Or if our skin color is a certain way, we tend to feel the need to act a certain way. These are obvious ones. Then there's ones that we kind of notice. So these are more like personality traits, lifestyle choices, things that we can change, but like are really like tied to our identity, right? So it's like the sports teams like we like the car we drive, like the type of clothing we wear, like the type of movies we watch or type of shows, like stuff like that. Like thoughts or actions that really like are ingrained with you, like with your identity. Okay, they don't change very much, right? Like the sports team that you grew up watching, like it's not going to change very much. The car brand that you like a lot, it's not going to change very much. I mean, I know people like to tend to like certain cars, as they get older, but like you know what I mean by this. And then so we're a little bit aware of how they affect us. We're not as aware, and even most of us are not as aware. Like these obvious ones, we're not as aware as we quote unquote should be on how much they affect our day-to-day actions. But these are even less. But we still are a little bit aware of, okay, if I drive a fancy sports car, I know I kind of act this way, especially when I'm driving my car. Okay, or I'm talking about, or if I'm wearing these clothes, or something like that, I'm acting a certain way. Okay, but we don't realize is like this car and clothes and stuff, even when that car clothes is not involved, like let's say we're not wearing those clothes, let's just say we own like a really nice suit. Yeah, when we're in the suit, we might act like that. But even when we're not in the suit, we still kind of subconsciously carry around in our mind that, oh yeah, I have all these nice clothes at home, like and you perceive yourself as higher. Like your ego gets inflated at a very subconscious level that we're not even aware of, even if you're just wearing like pajamas going down the road. Okay. Now, unaware stuff. Okay, this is stuff that like most people, unless you meditate a very lot, some of these you might not, where you might even be like, dude, what are you talking about? So like the food in your fridge, right? So most of us do not, food in your fridge, items in your garage, like how clean your room is, how often you visit your family, like how far the nearest like grocery store is, or like the plaza next to your house, the type of store is there. It's like the most random kind of stuff, right? But we identify ourselves with almost everything in our life, even the most random of things, right? Like for example, like what kind of cheese we have in our fridge. Some people are more aware of this than others, right? Like for example, if you're vegan, you might take very high pride in like, that like, you have all vegan food in your fridge. Okay. So some people, yeah, it might be more obvious, but for the general people I've seen, these kind of things are not things that you think would have like a severe impact on your identity, but at a subconscious level it does. For example, let's just say you live right near a Publix, right? You could take pride in the fact that, like, at a very subconscious level, see, these are not even conscious, so it's like kind of hard to even fix them, but this is just kind of like the kind of like the advanced stage going on right here, that, like, okay, like, you might take pride in the fact that, oh, there's a Publix walking distance from my house. I don't even have to, drive my car to get groceries or something like that, right? Or like items in your garage, right? Like what, like whether you have like like what equipment you have in your garage or something like that. Like, oh, I have that and that person doesn't. This is the most like kind of random smaller stuff, but what I would recommend you do is, and I didn't want to make 3 separate videos on this because it's not that much in detail. If you have any questions, you can let me know. But the obvious stuff, you want to be aware of this stuff first, right? So like actual day-to-day, live, in person. Okay, in all my interactions, how are these kind of, and I'm just naming some of the things that I felt went in these categories that I feel like you could relate to. But there's way more stuff here. Okay, like how are some of these variables affecting my, and I kind of made it not chronologically, like going down to, like, for example, these are kind of the most important, and then you kind of get to like income, family, and like politics and stuff like that, where it's kind of like in between, and then you keep going down. Yeah, so I kind of have like this in between row, so you can kind of get that, like, there's no like, okay, it's in this category, it's in this category, it's in this category. It's kind of like slowly goes down, and for some people it can be in a different order, because like I said, it all depends on how your ego is kind of constructed and what kind of things you value and what kind of things you're more conscious about than others. Okay, but in general, the things that are most obvious to you, like I said, this is just a guideline. You want to see how these kind of impact your day-to-day life first. Then after you feel like you've touched the surface on that, then go down to here. Okay, how are my lifestyle choices and my personality traits affecting my my day-to-day life, or my day-to-day actions and stuff like that? Because like I said, your personality is kind of just constructed all around your ego, right? It's not like at a soul level, it's at an ego level, and these things often change, right? But we think we need to act a certain way or something just to kind of fit into this personality. So we want to kind of monitor that too, and this is basically going to help us kind of reduce like your fakeness. Okay, if you want to call it like that. Okay, the more deeper you go, the more the more in touch you're going to be at a soul level. The realer you're going to get. Okay, literally. So take care of the obvious stuff. That's good. Then take care of the stuff that you kind of notice. You're on your way to reducing the fakeness. This. It might take some expert challenge, and like I said, this is a constantly ongoing process. We're constantly realizing things in these, and we're constantly working on things in each of these categories. But at the end, you're gonna be recognizing like the smallest, minute stuff that you identify to, or you latch on to. Your ego does, to kind of separate yourself from others, and your ego likes to perceive itself as like, it likes to attach to things to put its value on the things that it attaches to. Like, for example, like, the type of like who we're dating, or the type of people in our life, or some of these variables and stuff like that. Okay, so we need to just understand that those are all just variables that at an ego level, at a soul level, we're all the same. Okay, we're all like we're all souls, like we're all equal souls at a soul level. Okay, we're all the highest level we can be. Okay, at the ego is what tries to kind of pull us down and try to say that, oh, we're worse than others, or we're better than others, based off of certain very physical, usually, or mental variables that that we can learn to be aware of and move past. So hope you guys understood this video. It was a little bit, it's going to kind of take some practice to kind of pick this up, but hopefully you guys stick with it and kind of reduce the fakeness, I guess you can say, in your life and in your actions and thoughts. Okay, so that's it. Until next time, see you guys later. As usual, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks, man.